Hey everybody, Alex here with Momentum Charting. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, jump down below, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification. Doing both of those things is the only way to ensure you do not miss a single update on SAVA over the coming weeks and months. Thank you for doing that. Let's just talk about quickly the Alzheimer's conference they had recently. It looked to me like all of the data from SAVA drug pipeline so far very positive, safety really good, biomarkers good, cognitive data really good. With a company like SAVA, you just have to be careful on these really news-driven events where even some slightly disappointing data, which is still ongoing, can really tank a stock, and short sellers and other people use these kind of events to just really suppress prices. It happens all the time. I've been through these a number of times over the years, and it's the same thing time and time again. It looked to me like another reason I think the name of the company was Innov Bio, something like that. They came out and they were saying one of their drugs was potentially better than one of the drugs that Biogen had to treat Alzheimer's, and there wasn't that wasn't definite because of there was a kind of a continuing lack of data, so that wasn't supported. So that kind of brought the whole market, the whole Alzheimer's drugs sector down on just that little bit of bad news. So just again, be really careful on these big news-driven things with these big events surrounding it. But guys, everything is appearing long-term very safe, very solid on SAVA. So let's, this isn't a channel where we really get into that aspect of the drugs and the stocks. We focus more on the charts, but I just want to get that out of the way. Everything looks good still on SAVA long term, and yeah, the outlook's still really positive, and we are all in this fight against Alzheimer's together. So let's get into the chart, guys. I'm here on the weekly, and if you just look at this weekly, so here, let's open this panel of momentum. Everything here, guys, still looking very strong, very positive to me. We've still got this nicely uptrending weekly momentum. Even if we pull down here onto the daily, this trend here still very positive, guys. You see this series of higher lows and higher highs developing. Hopefully we get something like this off this big nasty pullback we've gotten, which I believe to be overdone to a big degree, and I'm going to get into that in a second and show you that. But I did just want to open this daily and weekly time frame and show you here. I mean, if I showed you guys this chart here on the weekly, you'd say that this was a stock that was still very strong. Yes, indeed, there is some overhead resistance here in this zone around 134 to 140 in this zone, but this is still a very healthy looking trend overall, and it looks to me like we just may be in need of some consolidation on SAVA before we start moving higher. It's just so funny. Tiny little blips in these markets can just cause these big whipsaw effects, and I think that yeah, SAVA may have gotten a little bit ahead of itself, and that's why the pullback is so dramatic. Obviously still ongoing, but just looking at this again on the weekly, it is very clear to me that this was the breakout candle here on June 1st where we ticked over 56. So very strong support if we were to pull back to this area. It looks to me like right around $57. There is a massive weekly support. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get there. I'm just trying to give some encouragement in case there's another big pullback in the next couple of days. Watch for that $57 area to hold, and potentially for that to be a strong area of support to start picking up long-term shares of SAVA for your portfolio. So weekly still looks good, daily still looks good, even here on the momentum, guys, still looking good. I mean, this trend is really a strong trend here. You can see obviously on the last couple days we pulled back, but overall looking for some support to pick up in this area for us to start carrying momentum back to higher levels. let's start looking at a couple of other charts. So yeah, we got this big nasty candle, but 2 big days of sell-off here we've gotten, which have been to me a little bit on the disappointing side, but long term everything still looks very good shape for SAVA on the daily and weekly. And I did want to show you this, guys. I think this is going to be very encouraging for you. I believe that what's going to happen here in the next week and change is that this nasty downside move is going to result in a pretty decent recovery, whipsaw back to the upside. And now whether or not we get that down here and this whipsaws and recovers back up, and then we get this another kind of sell-off and then more of a consolidation, well, it's going to all depend on your personal preference on SAVA. If you are a long-term holder of SAVA, you believe in the science, you believe in the drugs, obviously you're not going to want to sell on this recovery. But if you're a short-term swing trader, that may represent a good opportunity to take profits when this recovery happens. And I'm going to show you that here in a second, what I believe is going to happen. And I do have a good idea exactly when that's going to happen, and that is going to be another reason why you are going to want to stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any updates, and I'm going to walk you through this trade as it happens live. I'm going to be watching here the 20-minute and the 5-minute chart with my I've got this kind of dynamic trend indicator and a volume indicator, going to be watching both of those. And you can see here, guys, on this first big pullback here in mid-July, this is on I'm on the 20-minute trend here, and it's going to be very clear to me. You can see when this broke down here, and this is why I like to use this volume trend, kind of modified volume trend, because it gives a really good idea of where you should set your trend lines. So here we got the first dip July 14th, and followed this trend line and recovery here. So this was the trend line to set here, and we did break above that on July 19th and set a 1 point here at, let's see, right first thing in the morning on July 19th, and then another one on July 20th. So that was our set trend line after the downward trend line broke, and that's when we got this big recovery to the upside. So I think that something very similar here is going to happen. And guys, I have these 2 points marked here of very much significance and high degree of importance, and they both align on the 20-minute and the 5-minute chart. So it's going to be the same thing. One was the high here on July 29th at 7:50 in the morning, and then the other one here at 11:50 a.m. So what I'm looking for here to happen, you can see we are still working down here on the 20-minute chart, guys. You can see that clearly here. You see the white space between the volume ticking down and the moving average I've got set here. And you can see when we started ticking up here on July 21st. So I'm looking for a similar thing to happen here, and most importantly, a break back above this trend line. So short term, we do still want to be careful because there could still be downside. Okay, I'm not saying there's not downside potential still, but I believe when this thing does bottom here, which I believe is going to happen shortly, we cross this trend line, we're going to get a catapult style rebound back to the upside on SAVA. I'm going to be watching very carefully for that to happen on both the 20-minute and the 5-minute. Let's look at the 5-minute here. Yeah, you can see here, let me open this panel here. This is where we got the start. We had this double bottom here between July 19th at 12:50 and then July 20th. You can see that here, right? That double bottom formation, and then we started working higher here. And so that is again what I'm going to be looking for here. Okay, you can see right now basically we're still working down, but I do believe we're getting close to a bottom out here, and I think the selling is way overdone, especially, I mean, down 30% on Friday. That's just craziness. So let's watch down here in these levels for some sort of a double bottom and a relief of this volume indicator back to the upside, as well as a break of this crucial trend line back to the upside to lead us to at least a very nice swing trade back to the upside. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on SAVA, guys. And whether or not this, when this trend line breaks and we start getting this nice move back to the upside, I think that's going to lead us to the back on the road to recovery of at least of a consolidation pattern somewhere in this area, you know, between 90 and 140. To start consolidating for the next move to the upside on the next bits of good news on SAVA's drug data over the coming weeks and months. So basically the picture to me is very clear, guys. Short term, just watch for this trend line to break and get a catapult move back to the upside, potentially setting up for a very nice short-term trading opportunity. And if we were to happen to pull back all the way to on the daily to that area that I have marked here around 57 or so, I think that's going to represent a very strong long-term entry moving forward for SAVA. And guys, again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm going to update you on this trade. I'm going to show you when we get this double bottom that we'll be looking for. And when this trend line breaks to the upside, setting up a short-term trade, I will update that live real time when I see it developing, 20-minute, 5-minute chart, and everything else moving forward. Let you guys know what I'm seeing on the momentum chart, all that cool, fun, exciting stuff. Short-term momentum chart, if we start getting this rounded bottom, that's going to be another positive indicator. So there's some really interesting and exciting things we have to look forward to on SAVA, obviously in the long term, but also in the short term, looking at momentum trading back to the upside. So guys, that's basically it. That's my update on SAVA. I just believe this rally in the very shortest term was a bit overdone, but long term still looks very bright, and we have an exciting swing trade opportunity to look forward to in the short term as well. So guys, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for all the positive comments and everything else on all my videos, everything I do on this channel. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you all again very shortly in the next update video. Bye for now.